What is up, everybody? Hey, Kevin Samuels. Um, man, first of all, don't wish me happy Juneteenth. I will not be wishing you happy Juneteenth. I do not celebrate holidays that Democrats and Republicans want to throw to Black people instead of giving us policies. I want to first go in on the Young Turks because I'm tired of them. They are probably the most mentally ill and irrational group of reporters I've ever seen. I've never seen white people hate themselves so bad. I've never seen white people so addicted to the Black struggle existing like this, like the Young Turks. And actually, when I was a liberal and I was passionately ignorant in my mindset, I used to listen to the Young Turks. But now I'm like, these people, can I turn one of these lights off? Because my eyes, I feel like I'm having light sensitivity or something. But these liberals, they're addicted to Black struggle. And if you follow my website, thethoughtcorner.com, there's an article called The Black Struggle Addiction, right? And it goes over the white activists, the liberal white. These individuals typically are insecure, beta type people who are really messed up. They've had a lot of so-called life trauma happen to them for whatever reason. I'll post a link to that article after this podcast. But the Young Turks are racist, all right? And I've noticed what a lot of these liberal news stations are doing is they're getting these Black, passionately ignorant face fronts to be able to call out Blacks that are not information with the ignorant rhetoric that is going on today in America. All right. So I'm looking at the first thing I look at, I'm looking at my news feeds and I get this. I don't even know how, but this guy from the Young Turks, I don't know his name. I guess they got a Black guy on there to be able to race pedal to Black people and keep them passionately ignorant. But the title of this was, if you check it out on YouTube, it's called Conservatives Melt Down Over Juneteenth Holiday Decision. And this guy goes into this diatribe about Candace Owens being a racist, right? And see, this is what the liberal media is doing right now. They're using Black people to call other Black people racist for not being on the passionate, ignorant train. Most rational Black people understand the arguments that are happening in America today are recycled and intentional and less than reality than a lot of these people want to paint. But they got all these Black front faces like Joy Reid, and I'm about to get into her ass next, because these people are committed to Black people maintaining a marginalized mindset, a fear of America. And these people are actually living the American dream as they tell other Black people of what they should be in fear of. Black people are continuously being sold out by our own people. And I think it's important for Black people to start recognizing who our race peddlers are. Who are the people who are really, really not down for us, but keep being on the mic talking about us? Joy Reid is not our friend. She's a Black racist, in my opinion. Don Lemon is a mentally sad dude, beta dude, that don't know what the hell he be talking about half the time, but yet they want him to put on these passionate theatrics for Black people. Al Sharpton, I never even hear his ass most of the time until there's some struggle to talk about Black people. I think Black people are starting to realize slowly but surely, with all the voices that are sort of coming together, coalescing, talking about the Black experience from however they want to talk about it. I think a lot of Black people are understanding that we need to own our own narrative. We need to stop buying into all the superficial. We need to stop buying into all the political, social bullshit that even our own people keep trying to force feed us, make us to believe so that we can maintain a state of marginalization. For Joy Reid to not understand why critical race theory is such a detriment to not just Black kids, but all kids of all races in this country, you're a fucking idiot. You're a race peddling idiot. And I don't believe in advocating for Black people to lose their jobs. But I do advocate for Black people who are the front faces of us to make some damn sense and stop pandering to what you think a white man wants you to pander to. These Democratic Blacks, stop letting them fool you. Democratic Blacks, in my opinion, they are, and I don't say we because I ain't no damn Democrat or liberal Black anymore. They are passionately ignorant. They are passionately ignorant. They're passionately committed to the Black struggle, being alive, infiltrating the next generation of Blacks' mindset. Democratic Blacks have the platform that they have because the Democrats own almost every institution in this country with their liberal mindset. And Black Republicans, the Republicans already told you how the fuck they think about us by passing this Juneteenth bullshit so ignorantly. It's ignorant. Yay, everybody get another free day off. That's cool. But I mean, honestly, that's just a free day off for me. When June 19th rolled around, I guess I don't got to work, a free paid day. But I ain't thinking about what they want me to think about. Just like half of the Black people, when MLK Day happened, we remember Martin Luther King, but it is very convoluted. Just like Black History Month, it's very convoluted. Check out the mixtape documentary that Talib Kweli and Angela Davis were a part of, because it talks about Blacks who are really kind of shaky about Black History Month because it hasn't really lived up to its intentions. When Negro History Month started, it was supposed to talk about Black elevation. That means every February of the following year, we were to hear about something elevating that happened in the Black community. But what is Black history turned into? What are we celebrating? Pain, struggles, transgression, slavery. And then they want to sprinkle in Black empowerment tags and excellence. But how are we being excellent if we're talking about the same damn thing, we're doing the same damn thing, and we're living in the same damn dysphoria? Seems like to me somebody has bought our narrative, has owned it for a long time, and it's time for us to own it back. No other group in this country can be leveraged the way that the Black community can be leveraged. And the reason why we are so leverageable is because our own people are profiting from betraying us and keeping us in a marginalized state of mind. All these big corporations and government and bullshit like that, if y'all are really sorry about the treatment of Black people, give us our fucking narrative. Let us own the Black image. If y'all really got all this white motherfucking guilt, give Black people their narrative. Let us own our narrative like the Asians and the Hispanics and the whites and the Indians that come up in here. All of them, they're owning their narrative, and you won't let Black people have it. You keep trying to paint these narratives, throwing out symbols for us to believe in of struggle. And Black Democrats, Black liberals, they just keep eating this shit all day, thinking that they're feeling some level of appeal. Look, they thought about us. They gave us a holiday. Silly Negroes is what I think of them now. Silly Negroes. You're not progressive Black Americans at all. It's like, Joy Reid, sit your racist ass down. Sit your racist ass down, looking like a Chucky doll half of the time with them crazy wigs you be wearing. Y'all be talking about my wigs. They got this clown on here looking crazy as hell talking to Black people. And then you got Don Lemon talking about some white men are so detrimental and they're so this, and white people, wait, with your whole white husband. Fuck out of here with this shit. Black people, wake up. Wake up. We got a lot of people talking on our behalf that don't make no damn sense. And what they doing is they putting our people in front of us. I don't talk on Stephen A. Smith. I've never been a fan of Stephen A. Smith. He's getting the exposure that he needed to get from Kwame Brown. But there's a lot of Stephen A. Smiths out there deceiving Black people, keeping us bought into some bullshit. It's a lot of them out there. And I think Black people need to start understanding how other Black people feel about these narratives, about these broken symbols. You know, we ain't all on the same team with the bullshit anymore. Some of you guys are on Team Democrats own the Black narrative. Team Democrats tell Black people how to think. Team Democrats tell Black people how to live. We ain't all on that page anymore. And I think it's time for people to start recognizing that even within a Black community, we are not a monolithic community. No matter how much you people want to paint us as being monolithic, we are not monolithic. So for Joy Reid's ignorant ass to continue to push out all these stupid ass narratives with her insecure ass, putting her insecurities on society and the Black community and getting paid to do that shit. You know, critical race theory is a way to inhibit Black self-actualization in the American contract. You know this, Joy. You know this. But you keep touting this bullshit to Black people. Trying to justify a theory. A theory. Critical theories are only theories. Why are we implementing theories in society? And then you got all these Black people being paid to push this idea that this theory is okay. But the Black people in my region, we're not with the shits. We're not with critical race theory. We're not. We're not for that. My school board, the parents, the Black parents in my area, they're combating that, Joy Reid. We don't want that shit in our schools, Joy Reid. We don't want our kids being taught that bullshit, Joy Reid. Black parents don't want critical race theory, Joy Reid. MSNBC and all these other yuppie liberal networks that got y'all Black front faces trying to convince Black people that it's okay. We should talk about racism. We've been talking about racism in this country for decades, throughout the damn history. When are we going to stop talking about that bullshit and talk about Americans progressing collectively? You guys want to keep these little dumbass conversations so that y'all can create all kinds of stupid ass profit centers off of Black people. If you're sorry about how you treated Black people and you got so much guilt, give us our fucking narrative. Stop paying Black people to keep the Black narrative the way that it has been going on. Because enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Black people should stop tolerating this stuff. We should reject a lot of this bullshit because right now it has never benefited us to be on a train of it anyways. Because in 2021, we got Black and white liberals mentioning Jim Crow so that they can push out policies to freak the election process in this country. We got Black and white Democrats talking about how ignorant Black people are, that we can't go out and get an ID when we know reality says that's not true. Most of the people in the hood got IDs. But these are the narratives that they want to paint about Black people so that they can push policies that don't benefit us. I don't know when Black people are going to wake up. I don't know when we're going to wake up. But I know we need to start recognizing the voices that are speaking on our behalf and why they're not our friends. You know what I mean? We my thing is, y'all done talked about the Black struggle enough. Who got black progress on their lips? Real black progress, real black elevation. Who got that on their lips? Who got that on their lips? They ain't in the front. They're not in the front. They don't want us in the front. They don't want progressive Black America in the front. They don't want that. They want these insecure Blacks that are committed to the Black struggle because they profit from it. And shit, I want to make money too. I want to make a whole lot of money. But I'm not about to sell myself or my people out to do it. I'm not about to sell nobody out to do it. Like, I mean, you can make money. You can engage in the pure capitalism system without taking away your dignity. You know what I mean? I feel like people, they have no scruples. They have no natural affection. They have no natural sense of self-respect. Because the almighty dollar that is slowly depreciating anyways have depreciated their character. It's like this country is so fucked up. People in this country are so messed up. And the Young Turks, man, it's so funny because I'm like, oh, they got a Black dude on the Young Turks, right? And this dude just, he like a Roland Martin, but he's just a little bit more subdued. You know, and then I'm just like, first thing Candace Owens is a racist. Yeah. Get Black people to call other Black people racist. That's what they do so that they can paint the narrative that Black conservatives are white supremacists. Right? Black conservatives are white supremacists because we don't want to buy into this struggle bullshit, these dumbass narratives that the Democrats constantly want to create for Black people so that they can marginalize us and keep us in a state of fear. It's so absurd. It's so absurd. Fuck Juneteenth. Seriously. Because it wasn't the ending of slavery in this country at all. One of us is slaves, all of us are slaves. Well then, my dog, we need to be celebrating the ending of slavery in December. Because that's when the last group of slaves were freed. Big ups to our Blacks in Texas, because this is your day. This is your day. You should celebrate. I mean, nationally, we should recognize the fact that Texas freed their slaves possibly on this day. But there were at least Delaware and Kentucky still had slaves. And I think there was 11 other states that were working it out of their motto. So there were still slaves in the United States up until December 1865. And that's why Black people need to know their history. That is why Black people need to understand. Like, I mean, when we want a free day off, cool. Cool. You want a free day off? Cool. I'm all with the shits to have a paid free day off for a national holiday. But it's just going to be exactly what it is. A free day off so that some people in this country can commemorate a day that necessarily did not end slavery, but the federal government throwed it to them. And Republicans ain't shit either, because it's like they're scary cats. This is why I can't rock with the Republican Party. They're scary cats. Because to me, the Republicans have known what the Democrats have been doing all these years, how they've been leveraging Black people and all that stuff, but they really haven't done shit. They haven't really called it out. They haven't really been passionate about talking about how Democrats leverage Blacks all the damn time in this country. And that's why I don't rock with the Republicans. I wish Rand Paul would run for president. I rocks with the Libertarians. I wish that Rand Paul, now that I understand him a little bit more, I understand these characteristics of these individuals in these party, I rocks with Rand Paul. I rocks with Rand Paul. And I encourage other Blacks to get to know Rand Paul. I encourage other Blacks to get to know Thomas Sowell. I encourage other Blacks to know Shelby Steele and Walter Williams. and understand your alternative Black American experiences and conservative perspective and how they're viewing, these people are not struggling. You can take, let me tell you how the conservative mindset works with a Black that's even at the most poverty line. If you ever want to see how the power of Black conservatism works with people, look at every single Black conservative on the microphone. They're not trying to talk to, like, I can't speak for Candace Owens, because like I said, I think she turned a lot of Black people off because of just her perception of her community. But there are a lot of Black conservative perspectives. Check out the Black conservative perspective. Greg Foreman, very intelligent brother, breaks things down in a very concise and logical way. He's very well researched. But these Black conservatives are not struggling. They don't have the same mindset as Black liberals do. And that's why I moved over to the Black conservative movement, because I always lived in a state of cognitive dissonance because of the arguments that were going on in the Black community and what I was experiencing real time in life. I am 38 years old, and I can honestly tell you that I've been traumatized more by things that have happened to me in life than racism. And these are things that have happened to me by my own people. My own people. When you want to talk about trauma, today's Black American trauma, most of today's Black American trauma is caused by their own people and don't have shit to do with racism. And this is not deflecting any accountabilities off of what collectively white individuals have done to marginalize Blacks with the help of Blacks. I mean, when you think about it, Black people have never really left the transatlantic slave trade mindset. You know what I mean? And the one thing liberals don't want to talk about during slavery is the fact that the first group of Blacks that came to this country were sold by people that looked like them. Then the Europeans, they got tired of bartering with the Africans. Within the slave trade, because remember, we were being sold for commodities, tobacco, liquor, by our African kings. Then the Europeans was like, man, fuck that. We don't want to barter with them. Let's just go run up in their shit. And that's what they did. And that's when they started taking them. Black people need to know their history, because history repeats itself vicariously through not knowing history. Because there's a lot of those type of mindsets, Blacks in this mindset, class system mindset, because that's what was going on in West Africa. It was a class system. They didn't have an idea of Blackness. Like the Blackness that we want to foster in America as Black Americans, Africans don't have that. They're tribal. They're class distinct. And now Black Americans, I feel like, even though that's not a general mindset, class system, it exists within the Black American community. And the Blacks at the top, those little selected, hand-picked face fronts, these are the individuals that are selling us out in this country. The go along, get along gang, shit, that's everywhere in all institutions that influence Black America. We got, in our academic space, we got traitors. In our entertainment space, we got traitors. In our corporate space, we got traitors. We got traitors of the Black community and the Black image in all sectors. So that's why I don't even pay attention to mainstream Blacks anymore. Most of my favorite Black people these days are YouTubers. And I think, what's his name from CNN, that little dude that looked like Pee Wee Herman's fat brother, Brian Stelzer or whatever. That dude looked like Pee Wee Herman's much bigger brother. He was complaining about the fact that YouTubers had higher viewership than their network. And it's like, because people are tired of your bullshit. They're tired of your race peddling. They're tired of you turning this country into a polarized Marxist nation. That's what people are tired of. You know, I had so many Juneteenth invites, right? And, I could have been like, oh, you don't do that. I'm not about to shake nobody's feelings about this day. Because, like I said, there's some people, Black Americans, who may feel that it's worthy to celebrate this day. I do not personally believe that this is a day that Black people should be celebrating as the ending of slavery, because we sound contradictory when there were still Blacks enslaved in America during that time. And again, young Turks, y'all done found yourself a little black face. They always get Black reporters so that they can call Black people out. Y'all saw how they did Tim Scott, right? Soon as he said something logical, they sick they Black ops on him. That's what I call Black people that sell other Black people out. Black ops. That's what they are. Black ops. They sick they Black ops on Tim Scott real quick. Now they got their Black ops on Candace Owens, calling her a Black white supremacist, basically, because she wanted to make some very valid points about this bullshit ass day. It's like, I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not a white supremacist, and I think that this day is bullshit. I think that the federal government should have popped out policies for Black people instead of symbols. Like, this is what they do for Black people. Here's a symbol for you. But the Asians get an anti-hate bill. Asians got an anti-hate bill. Black people got a big ass statue of George Floyd, a symbol of struggle. And we got a Juneteenth convoluted holiday where, really theoretically wasn't the ending of slavery. But here you go. You guys are ignorant. You don't know. We're going to rewrite your history anyways. Black people don't realize our history has been rewritten. And I didn't realize how much these people were rewriting Black history until the 1619 Project came on the scene. I'm like, so Black people have been lied to all these years. Because here's the thing, Black Wall Street, lots of Black people never learned about Black Wall Street. Let's just bring that on home. All this Black History Month, all these years, you understand that I learned about Black Wall Street last year. At 37 years old, I learned about Black Wall Street because my Black history was given to me by liberal institutions that told me this is what you need to learn about your Black history. You were slaves. You had to fight for your civil rights. And now you have them. Yay for you, but you're still going through a lot of social injustice and inequality. Now imagine if they would have taught Black Wall Street in school. Imagine the mental disposition of Black kids. You know what I mean? Seeing the beacon, like that is a beacon of Black success. Even though it was a tragedy, it was also a beacon of Black success, that Black people could do things autonomously. They gave those Black people land. And they cultivated that land. They built that land. And some institutional hierarchy supremacists did not like the fact that they could do that by themselves. So they organized bullshit to tear it down in Tulsa. That's what's up with Tulsa. So, yeah, white supremacy has definitely devastated this country, but white supremacy has also shown that it is threatened by Black capability. And that's what Black people need to realize. And not only, to me, are the white supremacists threatened by Black capabilities, I think Black people are threatened by their own people's capabilities. That's why Blacks have the history of being that group that does not stick together. We have that history. You look at any other group in this country, Black people is the only group with a reputation of turning their backs on each other and not sticking together. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that Black people can't coalesce? Because Black people in this country do not own their narrative. We never have. And if white people really want to start acting like they want to appease Black people, give us our fucking narrative. Stop turning our women into sluts and objects. Stop painting our brothers as criminals. Stop killing our brothers. Stop creating influences and scenarios that our brothers kill each other. I mean, this shit is so fucking calculated. It's like I feel like I'm living in like the fucking Twilight Zone. Because it's like, you know, Black people, you cannot keep saying I'm tired of being tired and doing the same damn thing, buying into the same damn bullshit. I don't fucking care if they look like you. I don't care. We are not our friends. And historically, we have seen that. We have seen that. Black history in this country is so much more than we have allowed it to be. We don't want to talk about Lonnie Johnson. Do you know how many Black boys don't know who Lonnie Johnson is? Who's Lonnie Johnson? If you ask a Black boy that today, he doesn't know who Lonnie Johnson is, and it's a goddamn shame. You know why? Because every boy played with his fucking toy. Who had a super soaker? A Black man created that, made millions off of it. How come we don't have a statue for Lonnie Johnson? Otis Boykin, an electrical engineer. Thomas Edison supposedly stole his damn ideas. But we don't talk about this shit. We talk about struggle. We don't talk about Black elevation. And our face fronts continue. Man, if I hear about Harriet Tubman one more fucking time and we got Condoleezza Rice and Oprah and all these military Black women, Nadja West. I don't fucking hear about Harriet Tubman when we got Nadja West. Know your Black history and your Black presence. How about that? How about know who the fuck the mover and shakers are in your community beyond the bullshit ass slaves that they keep talking to you about? Half of Black America don't know they so stuck on Black history that they can't even focus on Black progress and demand that be projected in the community. And then you want to call Black conservatives sellout because we're fighting for the Black fucking narrative. Black liberals have neglected this shit. Fuck y'all. Ain't nobody trying to bandwagon think with y'all anymore. Y'all sold us out. And that's why we still here in 2021. So y'all can kick rocks with all that struggle shit. Black conservatism is about Black progress, Black excellence, understanding your Black American experience through the lens of not only history, but present possibilities. Some of y'all Black liberals want people not actualized. Y'all keep our community down with y'all poor generational rhetoric. Y'all put y'all shit on new generation Blacks and y'all want us to just embrace the struggle. Embrace the struggle. No, we want to embrace the fucking progress. We want to read fucking books, then be able to make sense of things and actualize ourselves. So you Black liberals can have your Juneteenth. But stop sicking y'all dogs on Black conservatives who reject this day, this symbolic day, because they didn't give us policy. They gave us a fucking symbol. And I'm sorry for going off, but when it comes to social and political conversations, I get heated about this shit because Black people need to start owning the narrative. Stop giving it away to other people. Stop letting other Black people convince you of what your possibilities are actualizing in this country when there are several examples of Black people that did it. You talk about, we talk about Madam C.J. Walker, right? This woman was one of the first, and I say she wasn't the first Black millionaire, in America during that time because there were other Black millionaires during that time. We always want to talk about Madam C.J. Walker, about what she happened. First of all, Madam C.J. Walker was the one who told Black women to press their nappy hair, okay? She was the one who told the Black Negro woman how she should look in public and it should have a European image, right? That we learned that from Madam C.J. Walker, right? And then when the Democrats wanted to change our narratives, they're like, oh, well, let's do some Black power stuff and get them into afros. Yeah, let's do that in the 70s. We'll get them in afros. Oh, wait. What about in the 80s? We'll get the Black people wearing Jerry curls. Yeah, we'll do that. You know what I mean? So Black people have constantly had, and I used to think it was just because Black people had style. No, a lot of Black people do shit that from a European influence. You know what I mean? That's why I don't want to run around with Negro hair. To be honest with you, it's not about the fact that I hate my Negro hair. It's just the fact I don't have time to maintain it. I like when I am not working from home in a stationary situation, which, you know, I'll be back on my hustle. I think we're going back into the office in about a month or so. It's like, I don't have time for that. I tried wearing my natural hair for a whole 3 months at the job. And I'm like, fuck, every day. I'm like having like throughout the day, it was just hard for me to maintain. So some Black women, it's not that they're not down with natural hairstyles because, you know, they hate themselves. It's just the fact that they don't like them. I've never worn braids. I had this one chick try to twist my hair and she got like halfway through it. The shit was heavy. It was uncomfortable for me. I was not interested in that hairstyle. You know what I mean? So I feel like with the Black image too, we need to start, understanding that, some of the influences that we have adopted over the years definitely dictates our behaviors and our perceptions of not just ourselves, but the community as a whole. You know what I mean? So that was my rant. You know what I mean? Stop calling Black conservatives racist, white supremacists. Stop listening to these mainstream liberal medias, put their black dogs on Black conservatives to make us look like somewhere so that they can continue to convince you that you're marginalized and that you should live in a state of fear in a country, the freest country in the freaking world. I mean, and this is what people don't realize. Go to any other country. Go to any other country, integrated country, not predominantly Black, because I see a lot of Black people moving to Ghana. But you're just not going to have the opportunities that you have in America. And American opportunities, I don't care if you're Black or white, starts with getting up, identifying what makes you great, what you could do limitlessly to contribute to the world and society as a whole, and actually putting that out there and profiting. Capitalism is what makes America great. Socialism will put us down the toilet, and liberal Blacks want us in a socialist state. So please understand the difference between capitalism and socialism. I wonder what the relationship is like between African Americans and actual. I'll be honest with you. Caribbean Blacks that come here, African Blacks that come here, they have a very low opinion of African Americans. They think that we're weak. They can't they come here to take advantage of the capitalist system. They think that we're weak because we don't take advantage of the capitalist system. But you have to understand that African Blacks that come here and Caribbean Blacks that come here, they don't have the history of slavery constantly being thrown down their, in their throats, reminding them of marginalization. That was not their experience at all. So Caribbean and African Blacks come to this country with a very conservative perspective. They usually have very structured families, and typically they are all about education and capitalism. These are the things that migrant Blacks that come from other regions believe is the necessary tool to succeed in America. If you ask any Black that migrate here, most of them don't, the successful ones, most of them don't have a high opinion of Native Black Americans because they feel like Native Black Americans are addicted to struggles, pangs, and transgressions that have long since passed. And for some reason, they hold on to them to have an excuse not to promote their progress. These people tend to be very successful in America because they don't have the same marginalized mindset and hangups that Native Blacks have, Amir. And it's so funny because I was in a store yesterday talking to one of my fellow store merchants or whatnot, and he said that some African guy came in, and he was like, I was surprised how he was talking about Black Americans. And I was like, yeah, because most African that come here, they're not super crazy about the mindset of Native Blacks. They're just not, and they tend to be very, you look at the Africans that come here, their children are very regimented in education. I call it the Black blueprint of success in America. They follow it to the letter. I remember hearing one Caribbean migrant, she was a first generation Black. Her father made them read the Wall Street Journal and the newspaper every day, made them kind of understand, what was going on, what the competition was thinking, how they were thinking, reading stuff that the competition was reading. So she had a very conservative upbringing, structured family. Her father was the patriarch in the household. They had a healthy love and fear of the father. The mother was there helping along. She was working too, but she didn't work full time. She worked part time, so she was there for the kids. They typically have much more of a structured idea of family and success in America than Native Black Americans. And again, because Native Blacks are constantly being reminded. You can't elevate when somebody is literally putting inhibitors in you so that you can't actualize yourself. You think about critical theories for a second here. If I'm being taught that somebody that does not look like me is my oppressor, and yet I have to go into society every day and interact with this person and these types of people in some way, what type of mindset do you think that I would have as a young person trying to actualize themselves in this country? This is what liberals do to Blacks, and that's why I tell Black Americans they're not our friends. Check out my other video rant about how Democratic Blacks really should be convinced that the Democrats are not our friends. They leverage us. And that is why it's so important for Black people to start owning the Black narrative, even if that means that you reject money to sell your people out, because that's what's happening. So thank you so much for the individuals that tuned in. This was not to be offensive to anybody. This was on some real talk, Look at the intro of my page, and I let y'all know I'm on that real talk. I like sensible conversations that make sense, rhetoric that makes sense. And right now, I feel like Black people are continuously buying into rhetoric that don't make any sense by both people that look like them and don't look like them. They're continuously buying into symbolisms that don't promote the Black community, all the while watching other groups thrive and get policies that benefit their own groups. So you all have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, I might need some help with this topic. So I'm going to do it on StreamYard, and I'll put in a link. And if you want to chime in, we want to talk about male masculinity. You know what I mean? I get tagged as a feminist. I'm not a feminist. I believe in the order of operation of life. I believe also that, men should be the head, but they should be a respectable head. I just feel like a lot of people have conversations about this, and I don't know if I want to do that conversation tomorrow, because I feel like I want to do a little bit more research on the male masculinity movement so that I give it credit and I really deliver it in a way where women need to understand. Women need to understand. You know what I mean? I want women to understand. I don't want to come off as a male basher, but I feel like Kevin Samuels is right. Women need to start talking to each other on some real shit. So I'm going to frame that conversation and I'll post a live. Hopefully, I'll post it early enough so if you can schedule to chime in. But have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, Amir. You have enjoy your day. Bye. And subscribe. Subscribe. Just go ahead and subscribe, y'all. I mean, shoot, everybody needs a new perspective. And if you don't want the mainstream perspective, if you dig some of my talking points, hit that subscribe button. Tell your people. Thanks.